Hello friends, welcome to our class. Now let us start the expression for the radius of the circular path along which a charged particle moves in a magnetic field. Expression for the radius of circular path and to do this let us consider a charged particle moving with velocity v at a right angle to the direction of a uniform magnetic field of strength B. To derive the expression for the radius of the circular path along which a charged particle moves in a magnetic field let us consider a charged particle Q moving with velocity v perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. Of strength B. Since the force is perpendicular to both V vector and B vector, hence it is not capable of doing work but compels the charged particle to move along a circular path. Since the force acts perpendicular to the plane containing the V vector and B vector, hence it is not capable of doing any work. But compels the charged particle to move along a circular path. Now, magnetic force is equal to F equal to Q V B when that charged particle moves perpendicular to the magnetic field. And since that force compels the charged particle to move along a circular path, then a centripetal force is required. And this force provides the necessary centripetal force. And the centripetal force acting on the particle is equal to mv square by r, where m equal to mass of the charged particle and r is equal to radius of the circular path. But we know that we cannot provide the necessary centripetal force from an external agent, but the body automatically collects from different situations in various origins. Now, this magnetic force provides the necessary centripetal force to compel the charged particle to move along the circular path. Hence, we can balance these two equations. Since the magnetic force provides the necessary centripetal force, hence we can write mv square by r, the centripetal force, is equal to qvb, which implies r equal to mv square by qvb. One v gets cancelled, implies r equal to mv by qb. This is the expression for the radius of the circular path along which the charged particle moves in a magnetic field. And this radius of the charged particle, circular path of the charged particle, depends directly on the mass, directly on the velocity, inversely with the charge and inversely with the magnetic field strength. This radius of the circular path depends on first is directly on the mass, that is r proportional to m. Second point, depends directly on the velocity, that is r proportional to v. And the third point, inversely on the charge, r proportional to q. And the fourth point, depend inversely on the field strength that is R proportional to 1 by B. Okay. So, it is all about the force acting on a charged particle moving parallel to a magnetic field, moving perpendicular to a magnetic field, and the radius of the circular path along which a charged particle moves in the magnetic field. Now, we came to know that if a charged particle moves in a uniform magnetic field, then it will experience a force. And already previously we know that when a charged particle moves in an electric field, then also it experiences a force. Now, Lorentz stated that if a charged particle moves in an electromagnetic field comprising of both the electric field and magnetic field, then it will experience a force which is the sum of the force experienced in the electric field and the force experienced in the magnetic field. And according to his name, he named this force as Lorentz force. So, let us know what is Lorentz force. What is Lorentz force? It is the vector sum of the two forces due to electric and magnetic field acting on a charged particle moving in a region having both the electric and magnetic field. That is, Lorentz force is the vector sum of the two forces due to the electric field and the magnetic field acting simultaneously. On a charged particle moving in an electromagnetic field, that is, Lorentz force is equal to electric force plus magnetic force. That is, Lorentz force equal to F is equal to F electric plus F magnetic. But F electric is equal to Q E, where Q is equal to charge of the particle and E is equal to electric field strength and F magnetic equal to Q V cross B, where V equal to velocity of the charged particle and B is equal to magnetic field strength. So, Lorentz force will be how much? So, Lorentz force equal to F electric plus F magnetic, which is equal to QE plus QV cross B, which implies F equal to QE plus V cross B. This is the expression for the Lorentz force acting on a charged particle Q moving in an electromagnetic field. Now, question arises, if we place a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field, then what will happen to it? Whether it will exert, it will experience any force or not due to the magnetic field. So, let us calculate the force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. Force on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. Let us calculate the force acting on a current carrying conductor in a magnetic field. Let a charge dq moves through a uniform magnetic field of strength B with velocity v. Let us consider a charge moving through a conductor in a magnetic field. If dq is equal to amount of charge that moves with velocity v in a magnetic field of strength B, in a magnetic field of strength B, then the magnetic force acting on the charge, acting on the charge is dF equal to dq v cross b, and it can be written as dq. We can write this velocity as the time derivative of the length or displacement, that is dl by dt cross b. And since t is a scalar quantity, so we can write here this as dq by dt to dl cross b. And we know previously that the time derivative of that charge is nothing but the current. So, it can be written as I dl cross b implies df equal to I dl cross b, where I equal to dq by dt equal to current that flows through the conductor. Now, the total force acting on the charged particle carrying current is, now the total force acting on the current carrying conductor in the magnetic field is F is equal to integration 0 to F df equal to integration 0 to L I dl cross b, and it is equal to I integration 0 to L dl cross b, and is equal to I L cross b implies F vector is equal to I L cross b, which implies this F vector is equal to I L b sin theta n cap, where theta equal to angle between the dl vector and b vector, and n cap equal to the unit vector acting normal to the plane containing the L vector and B vector. So, the magnitude of force can be written as F equal to I L B sin theta. This is the magnitude of the force acting on a current carrying conductor, and this expression shows that the force acting on a current carrying conductor depends on the relative orientation of the conductor in the magnetic field. This force depends directly on the current, that is F proportional to I. Second point, directly on the length of the conductor, that is F proportional to L. And third point, directly on the strength of magnetic field, strength of magnetic field also depends on the relative orientation of the conductor in the magnetic field. So, special cases arises. Number 1, if theta equal to 0 degree or 180 degree, then sin theta equal to 0. So, F equal to 0. That means no force acts on a conductor carrying current lying parallel to the magnetic field. That is, or implies, no force acts on a conductor carrying current lying parallel to the field. Number 2 point, if theta equal to 90 degree, then sin theta equal to 1 equal to maximum. So, F equal to QVB sin theta, which is equal to QVB equal to maximum. Thus, maximum force acts on a current carrying conductor lying perpendicular to the field. Thus, hereby we discussed about the force acting on a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field, whose expression is F is equal to I L cross B, and it is seen that when that conductor is placed parallel to the direction of field, then no force or zero force acts on the current carrying conductor. And if that conductor moves perpendicular to the field, is lying perpendicular to the field, then maximum force acts. And exactly in the similar fashion, if no current flows through the conductor placed perpendicular or parallel or at any angle to the magnetic field, then F will be 0. Because number 3 point, if I is equal to 0, then F equal to 0. That means, if we place a conductor in a magnetic field with no current, then there will be no force on the conductor. Hereby I finish this class. Thank you.